Hi Capricorn, this is your September 2018 Tarot Fix. Thank you for checking out the reading. I hope it's right on time for you. The Devil card did show up for you, Capricorn, before recording. So some Capricorns may be dealing with significant attachments, addictions, things of that nature at this time. However, my first instinct is to think that the Devil card is showing up for you as the tarot card that I associate most often with Capricorn, to say that you all are feeling comfortable in your own skin, at home wherever you are, in your own element. You're feeling very much yourself, like you can express authentically, genuinely at this time, which definitely makes sense because Saturn is in Capricorn, which is where Saturn is exalted or at home. Right now, that just happened a matter of days ago. I thought it was a little earlier than a client of mine thought it was. It may have been a difference in Western and Vedic astrology, maybe. I'm not sure, but in any case, it happened just recently that Saturn is direct in Capricorn. I think to some people it's happening today. I thought it was a few days ago. In any case, right around this time, that would make sense. That Capricorns are too feeling at home and comfortable and in their element. So I think that's what we're seeing more so than the attachments and addictions right off the bat. But ironically, who knows? It could be. We will see what unfolds. We'll see how Virgo season has been going for you all. It's a fellow Earth signs season, the mutable Earth signs season. So that's also a time when you all would likely feel right at home. So even more so this year, I guess. There may, though, be something about the energy of the new and or full moon that you are, as of yet, unprepared for, Capricorns. Yeah, you are needing to withdraw, to go within, to meditate, to the Four of Swords, and then the Hermit showed up. So you're needing to really to go within and show, like I said, gratitude for what you have left after eclipse season, for the fact that you made it through eclipse season, for whatever work you've managed to get done as Capricorn has been in, or Saturn rather, has approached this time of being direct in Capricorn. Or whomever you have around you, whatever resources you have available, whatever future plans you have, whatever you have to be grateful and thankful for. It's a time not only to go within and reflect and do some introspection, but also to definitely show gratitude for what you have and what you've made it through recently, whether it was an emotional, mental, physical, spiritual battle, or all the above. Of course, it is Virgo season, and the Hermit card is the Virgo card. So it can also be showing up in that way. Okay. I do think that something about how this reading fell out is actually relevant for us. I get the sense that something is unfolding that way for you this month, Capricorn. You are about this particular project, person, goal, activity, job, work you're doing, whatever this reading is speaking to, whatever's on your mind heavily this month. You are about this subject matter. You are feeling sort of stiff as the month starts out, inflexible, immovable, unwilling to budge on the matter, or just unwilling and unable to take action on the matter because you're not sure what to do, and so stiff in that way. It's just sort of feeling rigid and stiff and heavy, and it almost should feel more like a burden because it needs dealt with. But it's not really an active burden because you don't foresee yourself dealing with it, because you either, don't know how to or aren't willing to change your mind, whatever it is. And then, just as your reading did, whatever's going to happen mid or end month, just it all falls out like the reading. It just, everything unfolds at once, either because you refuse to take action, you refuse to budge on some matter, or because you didn't know how to handle it, so you fumbled through or did nothing. And then all the repercussions from this, whichever way it went, just happen all at once. And what's ironic is it seems like it's something that you're actually really invested in. It affects you. Part of you is invested in whatever project we're talking about here. Maybe it's not one that you really originally wanted to take on. Maybe it's not a passion project, but it's affecting you on a spiritual level then, if it's not a passion project. And it may be. I'm going to let you take a closer look at the reading. You're coming out of the energy of the Empress in reverse. The Empress in reverse is an upset or ill or sad divine feminine figure in your life, such as a mother, a divine partner, or just, a feminine partner, a deep feminine partnership, or partnership with a feminine, rather. Anyway, it's that energy being ill, sad, sick, upset, missing from your life. This is the energy that you're moving away from, that you're moving out of. I think you're actually, what I'm seeing here is that probably most Capricorns are moving out of a period of time where they were more in their divine masculine energy than their divine feminine. So we all have feminine and masculine energy in us, of course, and we can lean on one or the other types of traits at different time periods, depending on what serves us, what we need. And you're moving out of a period of time of suppressing your divine feminine traits, putting your emotional affairs on the back burner and taking action. And that's why you find yourself, because you've been able to take action and manifest using the tools you had at your disposal in the recent past, in the last month or few months. That's why you find yourself in a position of entrepreneurship in September, probably around this time as I'm recording. It's the 9th now. Many Capricorns are on fire in their business, or channeling a lot of energy into creative work, or both. Channeling a lot of energy into creative work that you're also making a business. And that may be the work that is also, like I said, affecting you on a spiritual level. There's something that you're very invested in at this time. And like I said, it's almost like, you don't know how to handle this next step. Because though you are acting like an entrepreneur, feeling like an entrepreneur, consciously communicating with people like that in your external world, inwardly on a subconscious level, you're at a place right now where you're realizing that success isn't what you thought it would be. You don't have the help you thought you would have, maybe because you've just recently left a divine partner, maybe a divine feminine partner in the recent past. You may have lost a partnership when you were, like I said, ignoring your emotions and focusing on what tools you had at your disposal, what actions you could take, what you could manifest. And so, yeah, without that partner, or if not a divine partner, without the help you thought you'd have, or maybe the resources and money and profit return you thought you'd have by now, for one reason or another, success is not looking the way that you thought it would. And you're crossed with a moment of obsessing over your past at a moment when it seems like, I hate to be critical on you, but there are only so many cards and energies to work with here. So at a moment when it seems that you need to be focused on what's going on presently, you're in a position of being an entrepreneur, running some type of business, creating, manifesting, being creative, invested in something that you don't really know how to do, how to handle. You don't have the help you need. Success isn't what you expected. That would be a time when it seems you would need to be focused on the present moment and what's going on, learning how to handle what's going on, taking it as a learning opportunity. But at some moment amidst that, you find yourself obsessing over the past. For some of you, it is because you left and or lost a divine feminine figure here. For others, if you're not obsessed over something in the past, you just find yourself at a moment when you're not being very logical. You may be too judgmental or critical of yourself or someone else. That may be why you use poor logic. You may be trying to be sly in lieu of business savvy if you're not sure how to be an entrepreneur. And that it may be poor logic as far as what is a good business practice. If it's not a divine feminine partner that you miss from your past, if this Empress in reverse in your past is actually representing a time in your past when you were, like I said, just suppressing your own feminine traits, you may be obsessing over that time because that led to a mistake that you're dealing with presently somehow. With the Eight of Swords there, it might be connected to something, some type of victim mentality you have, something you're blind to, but you're blinding yourself, a limiting belief you're holding on to. Yeah, I see this Queen of Swords and this Empress upside down, connecting, looking right at each other. The Empress from your past and energy you're moving away from, and the Queen of Swords, you obsessing over your past sometime in September, sometime here in the next, couple weeks. looking back at this part of yourself you should have listened to, or maybe, you know, your mother. It could be your mother. You or her, ill, sick, and upset, trying to tell yourself something and you didn't listen, and it leaves you somehow in a position now where you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to handle what you're doing, and you're obsessing over a time when you should have listened to a different part of yourself, or to, like I said, a motherly figure, some divine feminine in your life, and you can't forgive yourself for it. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is that it's costing you, but you're having trouble forgiving yourself for it. The way you're handling that, the way your subconscious is dealing with that, obsessing over the past is to say, yes, I agree. That was awful. I don't forgive myself. So you have some work. I'm not laughing at you. That's not funny. But you have some work to do there. You know, your subconscious is sitting on it and saying, yes, that was awful. I don't forgive myself. So you just need to sit with that. You need to work on that. You have to. It was, for some of you, it's hard to let go of because it was a mistake that had to do with your business. I keep seeing this entrepreneur here. And if not a business, then again, a creative project or a spiritual project, something that you're very invested in, just as invested as this person is here into these plants. The beginning of something major and brand new. And it may be that fate is not on your side in terms of it's just not time yet. It might have to do with some part of you that needs to heal, and you cannot rush a healing. You're not quite ready, I don't think, to do everything completely on your own that you want to be able to at this point. That may be the mistake that you're obsessing over, that you had the tools that you needed in the recent past, but that didn't mean that the healing that you needed had been finished yet. And some part of you was saying, just wait, let me finish healing here. The divine feminine part of me needs to heal, but a divine masculine part of you said, yes, but I have the tools I need. It's time to take action. We're taking action. And here you are, unable to focus and handle what you have not yet learned how to handle, because it's making you emotional and it's making you obsess over the past and look back and regret not listening to that part of yourself that said, yes, but I'm not ready. The tools are ready, but I'm not quite ready. And now you're being hard on yourself about that. Now you're not forgiving yourself about that. It's just piling more on. And we have the advice of the Ten of Swords here. Let's get a clarifier on the Judgment card reversed real quick. You know what I see immediately is you're being hard on the same part of yourself that you weren't letting heal. It was a feminine aspect, trait, portion, part of yourself that was saying, hey, I'm not finished healing. My emotions, my heart, I'm not finished healing. I know we've wrapped our mind around this, but emotionally, I need some more time. That's the part of you that you said, well, I'm sorry, heal on the way because we've got the tools. We're going to go ahead. It's going to distract us from these emotions anyway. It's going to be nice. That's the part you're looking back on and going, oh, I should have listened to you. But like at the same time, that's the part of you don't forgive. Because it's all you, right? It's just you, it's all you. You feel like on some level, you feel like that part of you should have spoken up and insisted on healing. And the truth of it is, from my perspective, from what I see here, is just that you've learned that lesson. There's no need to be hard on any part of yourself for the way that this is unfolded. What's happened here, Capricorns, is that this is a time when you have learned that lesson. that when that part of you, any part of you, speaks up and says, hey, I need some more time to heal, even though it seems like it's time to hit the gas pedal, you listen to it. Because somehow, for some reason, somehow, the part of you that needed the healing still is the same part of you that's not being forgiven now. As you know, it's just like a vicious cycle. And then your advice card is the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is to repeat a vicious cycle. I don't really understand. I talked myself right into how you are causing a vicious cycle there. You aren't forgiving this feminine aspect of yourself, or again, it could be a motherly figure, but you aren't forgiving this divine feminine aspect of yourself, or this divine feminine partner or parent. And especially if it's a part of yourself, that's the part of yourself that needed to heal in the past, which is why you find yourself obsessing over the past now. And it really needs your forgiveness. Especially if it's a part of you, it really needs your forgiveness for you to move forward. But for some reason, your advice is to repeat the cycle. Maybe that's the only way for you to learn. Like, I almost feel like the tarot, the reading is just being super sarcastic and like saying like, I really feel like the reading is being super sarcastic and being like, go ahead, repeat the cycle. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Repeat the cycle again. Yeah, that's the advice. Of course. You want to repeat the cycle? We want you to repeat the cycle. Repeat that painful cycle again. It's negative. Have fun. Like, I really feel like it is. I feel like it's being sarcastic so much. And I'm sure there's so many ways to look at it. But then the clarification on that is end this cycle. There are many ways to see it, but I can't help but see that right now. Some Capricorns, not all, some are just like pushing for this business, this creative venture. I'm going to say entrepreneurship again. They're pushing so hard for it, they just continuously ignore. You're just continuously ignoring parts of yourself that need healing, that need just maintenance, maybe even with the Four of Swords showing up, needing to go within, needing to show gratitude for your body's physical health by exercising and eating right, needing to show gratitude for your emotional wealth by spending time with the people who grant it to you, whom you love and who support you, needing to show gratitude for your mental health by taking a break, doing a brain teaser, or watching a show you like, or taking a nap, certainly by getting the sleep that you know your body needs. And everyone has their own limitations, of course, but you know yours. And you know when you're simply denying what they are, or trying to find out what they are, or when you're just ignoring them entirely. Some Capricorns are in pursuit of this success, this goal, maybe this way of life, this way of being, of achieving your goals, but also still being a sociable, charismatic person who has time to see all their family and friends too, which can stretch a person thin. And you just continuously ignore parts of yourself that need healing, parts of yourself that need attention. And I mean, I do, it can be read as sarcastic, like they're saying, okay, like the cards are saying, go ahead, yeah, repeat it again. But it also can be read as saying, yes, repeat it until you learn. That's what's going to happen. There's nothing else for you to do. Acknowledge that you're not done with it. You haven't learned. You haven't quit. You haven't changed those ways. And go through it until you do learn. Go through it until you can't anymore. Stop hurting yourself as soon as you can. What's aiding you in repeating this cycle is your fear of success. So, you complex creatures, you Capricorn, what I'm sniffing out that's going on here is that consciously you're pursuing success extremely hard. Subconsciously, it's not what you thought it would be. You're not sure how to handle it. That's actually because you've sabotaged yourself from the beginning by not allowing yourself to completely heal or mend on some level, in some way, in mind, body, and or spirit, in order to be ready and healthy and prepared for these tasks along the way. Every journey to success requires meeting some tasks that the journeyer is not prepared for, that the traveler is unprepared for. But if you are emotionally well, mentally well, physically well, you can take it on in that moment. Because you're not completely well, you feel unable to take it on under the spotlight, under the time pressure in that moment. So while consciously you're pursuing this success so hard, subconsciously you are constantly and have already sabotaged yourself. You're 10 steps ahead of yourself, making sure that you're never going to get this success that you're consciously going toward, because you're afraid of it. Now, of course, this message isn't for all Capricorns. Can't be. I know not all Capricorns are on this beat right now. And even if you are on this beat in September, it's just September. You know, that's just 1 month, maybe just even one section of 1 month. It doesn't change how invested you are in the project. It doesn't change how capable you are. It's just it's a hitch in your get up, though, for sure, for those of you with whom this reading resonates. And this point you reach in September where you are just obsessing over the past, just unable to forgive yourself, beating up the very same part of you that you failed to let heal to begin with, is a gift. That's the moment where you see, that's the moment where that subconscious sabotage is coming to light, is bubbling up into the surface, is coming to the conscious so that you're aware of it. Okay, how am I making sure that I can't have this success because I'm afraid of it? And better yet, why am I so afraid of it? How do I let fear have power over me? Because as invested as you are in whatever this project, this work, this activity we're talking about is, and as capable as you are of completing it, this world card, this completion, is just a flip away. I mean, it's just a flip of a switch in your mind away. It's just that energy is just blocked. All you need to do is realize that your fear is not real. It should have no power over you, and that it will have no power over you. It's easier said than done, of course, but once that mindset is achieved, everything that's reversed here flips upright. So much of it is rooted in your forgiveness of yourself. It sounds so simple. I almost can't touch what it is you're having so much trouble with, because it sounds so simple. It's okay that you failed to let yourself heal where maybe no one taught you needed to. It's okay that you some part of you incidentally sabotaged conscious efforts of yours. Often divine timing is at play when we have no idea, and that's the reason why these things are out of our hands. The Hanged Man, as a clarifier on you being so invested in this project and waiting to see how this project turns out, says that as you wait there, you're actually comfortable. And I think it's because you're connecting with this part of yourself. There's a divine feminine, whether you're male or feminine, or male or female. There's a divine feminine aspect of yourself that is talking to itself. It's connecting with itself. You're in it, and you're healing. You're having conversations with yourself. That part of you, a very cerebral, mental part of you that is wounded from having to cut people out who have betrayed you, that portion of you, that's very mental, very wise, very intelligent, very smart, but also very fragile, because it's the one that's had to do the work of cutting away the fat in your life, the people who don't fit anymore, the situations that aren't for you anymore. That is the same part that's being unforgiving and that's obsessing over the past, right? That mental, cerebral, anxious part of you. Judgmental, like I said, to the point of maybe even using poor logic at this point, is communicating with your higher, divine, more complete and mature self in a feminine way, on a feminine level. Yes, she needs healing, and yes, but that, like I said, is being brought to the conscious level now. That's why this is a gift, this obsession over the past. You're very well aware of it now, and that those parts of you are in communication. And I think that's why you're comfortable waiting here to see how this project turns out, to see where this work goes, how it develops. Because in this space, even though it's not, the cycle isn't completing, Ten of Swords reversed, the World reversed, this, and then the Seven of Pentacles reversed too. This, even though this cycle isn't completing the way that you thought, and success isn't what you thought it would be, you're finding a new perspective in this space. And you have to find forgiveness for this feminine energy in that space to move forward, I believe. You find the part of you. If you're having trouble finding forgiveness for some part of you, find the part of you that wants to stand up for and defend the part of you that you're attacking. Sorry about that. I know so many different parts of you, and we're so far over time, Capricorns. I hope that made a little bit of sense. I don't think I confused myself. I do think this is mostly about what's going on within you, although, like I said, for some, there is a divine partnership here. There is maybe a motherly figure even for some. But for most of you, I think this is about your fear of your success, your forgiveness of yourself. I don't see the Star card in reverse here anywhere, but I think I did see it a little bit ago in the deck reversed. Your future card is Choice. I feel like you've had that one already. Don't forget how your care for yourself, or your neglect to care for yourself, relates to your integrity. that it relates to your integrity, speaks to your integrity. So I was going to say, I don't see the Star card in reverse anymore, not now on the board, but I keep getting this thought and feeling about not letting oneself finish healing. And if that's the case, there's this message here for you, Capricorn, for us. I have 3 planets in Capricorn. I should be saying us and we this whole time, but there's this message here for us then of if we don't insist on allowing ourselves time to heal in every way we need to, who do we expect to? Whom do we expect to? Who do we think will continue to take care of us? Our mother? A mother figure? Do we believe we are superhuman and that while others need rest and time for healing, we can simply bypass those things? And how does that compromise and speak to our integrity, literally, when we pretend to be someone who knows how to care for themselves or to be a responsible member of society, contribute something to the world that they see around them, and then we proceed to be someone who actually just allows themselves to collapse and become emotional and incapable because we fail to take care of or allow time for some specific type of healing that we needed. Different Capricorns have neglected or avoided this specific type of healing for different reasons. And I don't mean to demean it, because for some, it's a healing that it's really difficult to address. It's something deep, something emotional, something old. It's different for each Capricorn. But for some reason, we've neglected or ignored something like that needed to be healed, to the extent that it's affecting our destiny, excuse me. It's affecting our completion of cycles, significant ones. It's affecting our success, our business, our mental health, our integrity, our choices. In the future position, the choice card says, for every action, there is an equal reaction. For every choice you make and then act upon or do not act upon, there will be a direct or indirect reward or consequence. The choice card in the future position asks that you practice mindfulness even when making spontaneous decisions. What will your choice bring into your life? Have you considered the potential consequences or only the potential rewards? Have you taken the time to weigh your options and take into account the potential impacts of your decision and the reality that a choice cannot be unmade? Your choices have the power to open and close doors, build bridges, and burn them. Could your decisions have potential consequences that you have not considered? Could your choice bring about the ending of friendship or marriage, the loss of your job, or worse, when a different choice could bring abundance and delight? Regardless of the choice before you, take time to consider the future ramifications of your decisions and actions and choose in a way that brings change of your own design and making. The direction you take now will lead you to your future. See and weigh up your options. Determine your direction. Look at the potential consequences and rewards and consider the impact your choices may have. Decide whether those choices are worth the cost and whether they will bring forth a future that is in harmony with your intentions and desires. So it would seem to me, with the advice card showing up as the Ten of Swords in reverse, that it's your choice whether or not you want to repeat the cycle. Do you need to keep repeating this cycle in order to learn this lesson? Or are you ready in the near future, at least by the end of the month, the beginning of Libra season, moving in October, to at last finally say, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't need to do that anymore. I can turn and look at the future instead of looking at the past. I can forgive my mistakes. I'm telling you, it's all rooted. If you resonate with this, it's all rooted in you forgiving your mistakes, first of all. And I have to leave you there. I do hope that this offered you some insight you didn't have when you came to the reading, Capricorns. I hope everyone's leaving with something that they didn't come to the reading with. I really loved reading for you, and I really appreciate your likes on this video and your subscribes to this channel. Thank you so much. It's very appreciated. And thank you for all of your comments and shares and messages to me as well. That's very appreciated as well. And a special thank you goes to those who have supported the channel through donations and purchases. I'm truly grateful for our energy exchanges. If you are interested in a personal reading and aren't familiar with my services, check the description of this video down below. You'll find all of my options there, and my email is lunaticstarot@gmail.com. If you need a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is send your request to that email address. There is currently a 4-week wait time for those, so just keep that in mind. I will keep taking those requests for a little while longer, though. And as a great alternative, there's now a $10 quick fix, so do check that out below if you're interested. Or there is also a Virgo season reading up already if you want more free content that's already available now. Otherwise, I love you all very much, Capricorns, and I will post another tarot fix for you as soon as I can.